Hi guys, so today we're going to present our mini project. The title is Campus Environmental Safety Audit, Noise, Waste and Air. So this is our group members, myself, Nurul Shuhada. We have Alif, Bazli, Shafiq, Husna, Wafiuddin, Izzuddin and Radin. Before we go to detail of our study, I would like to begin with a brief introduction. University laboratories are complex environments where environmental and occupational risks may occur due to chemical handling, equipment usage, and experimental activities. These risks are regulated under the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 and the Environmental Quality Act 1974, which aim to ensure workplace and safety environmental protection. Environmental safety audits serve a preventive approach to assess compliance, identify hazard, and evaluate control measures using the hierarchy method. Therefore, this study focuses on a campus environmental safety audit at UniKL MySet, specifically on noise exposure, waste management, and indoor air quality. Measurements, observation, and risk matrix analysis were conducted to identify gaps and recommend improvement for safer and more sustainable laboratory practices. Next, I would like to pass to my friend Radin.
Now, I will explain the objective of our environmental safety assessment. Our first objective is to identify any potential environmental hazards in the selected laboratory areas. We will also assess the level of risk using a likelihood severity risk metric based on the hierarchy approach. This helps us clearly understand what risks exist and how serious they are. Our second objective is to evaluate how effective the current control measures are. From there, we aim to suggest improvements to enhance environmental safety and ensure better sustainability within the labs. Lastly, our third objective is to evaluate the overall environmental safety performance of the selected laboratories at UniKL MySet. This will be done through a comprehensive environmental safety audit that follows the requirements of OSHA 1994 and the Environmental Quality Act 1974. Through this objective, we aim to create a safer, more sustainable and well-managed laboratory environment.
About methodology for our mini project. The environmental risk assessment follows the hierarchy approach, starting with hazard identification, followed by risk assessment using a risk matrix. The formula used are likelihood L multiplied by severity S. The risks are then classified as low, medium, or high. Finally, appropriate control measures are implemented based on the hierarchy of control, making it the last step in the process. This approach ensures risks are systematically evaluated and effectively reduced. It also supports safer and more environmentally responsible operation. As stated there, the methodology follows step by step of the environmental risk assessment flowchart.
And I will go further with result of finding what already we do in our mini project. After that, with the methodology and searching. Based on the risk assessment matrix, noise exposure recorded a severity which indicated S of 1 and likelihood which indicated L of 1, resulting in a low risk level. Waste generation show a severity of 1 and likelihood of 2, which also falls under a low risk level. Similarly, air quality impact were assessed with a severity of 1 and likelihood of 2, indicating a low risk level also. Overall, all identified environmental aspects were classified as low risk. That's all from me. Thank you.
In the first part, which is audit overview, the first point is environmental safety audit was conducted in selected UniKL MySet laboratories. The second point is assessment covered noise exposure, waste management, and indoor air quality. The third point is methods used, measurement, data observation, and risk evaluation. The fourth point is audit framework aligned with OSHA 1994 Environmental Quality 1974 and Standard Environmental Audit Practice. The last part is Simple Instrument Sound Level Meter, HVAS, Waste Segregation Checklist, Azure Representative Data. For the second part is Noise Exposure. The first point is main noise sources, certificates, vacuum pumps, HVAC system, fume hoods. The second point is measure noise levels where below OSHA permissible limits 85 dB. The third is exposure pattern, intermittent and short duration. The fourth is risk assessment. Severity, minor, S equals to 1, likelihood, rare, unlikely, L equals to 1 or 2. Risk level, low risk, 1 or 2. The fifth point is findings consistent with studies on university laboratories. And then good practice, observe, equipment maintenance and control operation. And the last point is recommendation, continuous monitoring to prevent cumulative noise exposure. The third part is waste management. The first point is waste type identified, chemical, recyclable and general waste. The second is proper segregation and labeling observed. The third issue identified, temporary waste storage without permanent disposal area. The fourth is risk assessment, severity, minor, S equals to 1, likelihood, unlikely, L equals to 2, risk level, low risk equals to 2. Compliance with Environmental Quality Schedule was Regulation 2005. Next part is Environmental Management Theory highlights increased risk with prolonged storage. The last part is recommendation, establish a dedicated permanent waste disposal facility. The last part is air quality. The first point is IAQ evaluated using PM10 concentration measurement. The second point is measure PM10 equals to 18.4 microgram over meter cube within acceptable limits. The third point is indicates effective ventilation, fume hoods and exhaust system. The fourth is risk assessment, severity, minor, S equals to 1, likelihood, rare, L equals to 1, risk level, low risk equals to 1. Finding aligned with studies on well-ventilated laboratories. And the last point is recommendation, routine maintenance and continuous IAQ monitoring.
So, in conclusion, this project successfully conducted an environmental safety audit in Unica LMISET laboratories focusing on noise exposure, waste management and indoor air quality in compliance with OSHA 1994 and EQA 1974. Overall, the results show that the laboratory operates with a generally low and acceptable risk level. However, several weaknesses were identified, particularly in waste handling and storage practices, which may pose potential risks if left unaddressed. Therefore, corrective and preventive actions such as improving waste management procedure, implementing regular environmental monitoring, and strengthening safety training were proposed. These measures are essential to enhance laboratory safety, ensure continuous regulatory compliance, and promote a safer learning environment. I'll pass to Wafiuddin for recommendations.
I will continue with recommendation part. For the first point is waste handling and storage. Ensure chemical waste is stored in properly labeled, chemical resistant containers and establish a designated waste storage area to comply with safety regulation. Secondly, environmental monitoring. Implement routine checks on air quality, noise levels and waste management systems to ensure compliance with safety standards and identify risks early. Lastly, training and awareness. Provide regular training on proper waste handling and safety procedure to increase awareness and improve compliance among all lab staff.
Hi, for this session, I want to explain why the environmental safety audit is really matter. The main purpose of this audit is to make sure our laboratory stays safe and healthy for everyone, while also protecting the environment. By checking key areas like noise exposure, waste management and indoor air quality, we can identify earlier about the risk. For example, continuous loud noise like 68 dB and above can affect hearing, and poor air quality can affect breathing discomfort. At the same time, this audit helps Unicare MySet to stay compliant with important regulation like OSHA 1994 and Environmental Quality 1974. So our university can avoid legal issue and maintain its reputation as a academic institution. For overall safety audit really matters is about prevention. Like we can reduce hazard, improving our lab's practice, and ensuring a safety and healthy learning environment for our students, staff, and lecturers. That's all from me.